Hello, Sagittarius. Hello. You can go check out my little video. It's like 4 minutes of what I'm doing these days and my setup and stuff. So here we go. Cheers to not making you wait all night for readings. What deck does Sagittarius need for the remainder of Scorpio season? Being drawn to the Daemons, but I know I just did, I think maybe it was a fire sign video with the Daemons, so I want to switch it up. And I feel like if I'm saying no to the Daemons, then I'm going Thoth. Alright, 3 Daemons. I'm trying to, see, the thing is I was overzealous with the last reading for Scorpio, and I know it's their birthday, but it's late as fuck. I started these videos real late this time around for no fucking reason other than I decided to do a bunch of random things that really wasn't in my things to do today, but needed to be done. You know, those days. So I'm trying to restrict it to like 1 deck, but we can make the Daemons quick when we're not doing a full reading. So you get 3 Daemons and a Thoth. Okay? Not a singular Thoth card, but you know what I'm saying. So we got Cerberus. Okay, I get it. I'm seeing it wrong. I think I give a fuck. Cerberus. So whatever I said sounds fucking cool anyway. Alright, Cacrinolas. One more little diamond, please. Just 1 more. I will not accept any extras. Thanks, guys. We got Leonard. Should we do these first and then get into this? Okay, so now that Halloween is over, I have sort of removed the intention of the Daemons being about anything in general, and we're kind of going back to the intention of it being sort of exclusively about like work-related stuff and finances in general. So it's funny because when I was saying that, the 7 of Discs fell out, which is unfortunately failure. So let's see what they gotta say, because obviously some of y'all are really struggling with work things. Saving grace here, we do have the 7 of Swords next to it, being futility, which failure and futility, not a great combo when you think of it that way, but it is double 7s. Okay, and it's earth and air, which are complements. So there is some positivity radiating from this, and I think it's something to do with duality here. I'm feeling this, you know, the shades of blue and everything. I just feel like, what's that about? Maybe failure is inevitable, but it doesn't mean that you cannot progress or keep going or put in the fight, put in the work. So let's check out these Daemons. I'm going to go in alphabetical order. Cacrinolas, Cerberus, Leonard. Just feels good. It just sounds good. He's like up front and center kind of energy right now, the Cacrinola. So I would say this is the most important thing. And I don't have most, I pretty much would say I don't have any of these memorized, but some ring a bell. And Cacrinolas is the one, I believe, that is like, sorry, I got very distracted at the color of my face, and I was like, did I put too much makeup on? And it's like, no, there's a red light. So I'm sorry, I zoned out. I was being vain for a second. I caught a glimpse. So anyways, I believe Cacrinolas is the one that is a lesson in getting to know people for good, basically, and not using the things you find out about people against them. Okay? Focus on learning the secrets of others, but beware of using that knowledge to harm others. You know what I'm saying? So, you better fucking watch yourself there, Sagittarius. You don't want to be screwing people over, or making people mad, or starting fights, or spreading drama when someone just really trusted your ass. Right, so Cerberus, we know that is the ultimate hellhound of the underworld. Focus on humility and finding comfort within means instead of wanting beyond budget. Here's the thing, the Seven of Discs being failure, you might be having money issues, but it might be your own goddamn fault. It might not be your job or your income, but your own goddamn spending here, Sagittarius. Stay in budget and you'd probably be fine. You know, and it's like, it's obvious, right? Okay, so Leonard. Beware of fawning for attention from authority figures or superiors for no other reason than their position. I think it's very, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's real. People will often say it's not what you know, it's who you know, right? I don't care. I don't care. I don't even ask people what they do anymore. I just, if it comes up naturally in conversation, cool. But I just want to know you. I don't want to know what you do. Like, yeah, actions may speak louder than words, but your job title tells me nothing of your work ethic anyway. Show me something, you know? I want to see you. So just try not to think of anyone, not necessarily out of your league, but just like unhealthily, pedestally. You get it. Okay, it's gonna be a long ass night for me. It's actually gonna be a long ass morning. So I think Seven of Discs, that was it. Seven of Swords, futility. It's pointless to try to fight this energy of like being on the right path but doing it the wrong way, because it's definitely what you're meant to do, and it's going to be very fruitful for you because we have the Queen of Discs here immediately. Alternatively, you might be dealing with two different women. One could be an earth sign, one could be an air sign. But the Queen of Swords being behind the Queen of Discs here, it's almost like, okay, technically, I guess it was this order. So you see that the Queen of Swords is sort of above, and the Queen of Discs is facing her. Okay, so this would almost indicate that these two women are not working together. These two are sort of at odds. And it's funny because the discs and air thing here, and now we have discs and swords, earth and air. And I said that thing about it being the best, not the best. Well, I personally think it's the best, but it's the partners, right, of the zodiac, whereas fire and water. So it's like, not that you should be taking sides if this is two different people, because you can also think of it as two different facets of your personality, where there's like this stable, grounding, working sort of homesteader in you, right? Which comes back to this whole like, you know, you might just need to be staying in your budget. She stays in her budget. She does not. So you, on the other hand, also have this confrontational, sort of chaotic, but also like hardworking and poised. But in this context, she's just seeing herself as above the other. You know, it's almost like, it's like if these are two different people, then it would be one sort of looking down at the other, but the other not looking up, right? And if it's you, it would be like you think of this part of yourself as responsible but boring, whereas this part of yourself is chaotic but fun, right? So, Hangman, you're in it now, like 10 toes down kind of energy. You put yourself in this position to either be fought over by women or dealing with these two contrasting energies that you have in you, right? But that's it. You're in. This is it. And 9 of Cups, happiness. You enjoy it. You enjoy it. And that's not really to say anything about the situation or an indication of what the situation would be, just because something makes you happy, right? Or because you are happy despite that this is going on. Either way, You might even be dedicated to your happiness more than anything. Because they're not looking at you. They're looking at each other. That's the real problem here. They're looking at each other. They're leaving you out of it in a sense. But it's about you, in a way, okay? But they are at odds with one another. For sure, at odds with one another. And you're just like, I just want to be happy. Will I ever be happy? But you are. I would say you are. Four of Wands completion. Now, here's the tricky thing. Is this cycle going to finish? Is something going to come to an end here? And it's inevitable that things will end and change and finish? Or is this you being whole again? Right? Having your emotions balanced and just pretty much feeling yourself and whatever, you know? So, yeah, I think that's good. I think that's nice. I will give this one little shuffle, but I gotta keep them pretty short tonight, so I shouldn't even be shuffling it, and it doesn't feel like anything's coming out. I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna just call that one. So, Princess of Swords. Yeah, if you are dealing with like the two women, or an earth sign and an air sign, or something like that, it's not about trust or anything like that, but you can kind of see where people's intentions are at. So you do have a decision to make. You might be dealing with a Gemini here. It could be a romantic situation, though it's not usually with this deck. And the Magician, that's double up on the Gemini energy here. The Lovers and the Magician are. This is the Gemini card, but a lot of people think this is a lot more Gemini than the Lovers. And then the Empress, which is, oh my god, this is my honorary Taurus card. That's so funny. I've relinquished the Hierophant from Taurus because it makes way more sense to make Taurus the Empress, but that's a conversation for another time. That's really weird. That's really fucking wild. So if you're dealing with two people, like, yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. And it could be something like working out the relationship amongst them in order to coexist. It's really like, I don't know. To me, it's looking more like it's the air sign. Again, it's not being at fault. And also, if this doesn't apply as people, right? Think of it as traits of an earth sign versus traits of an air sign, right? Because and traits of earth and air. If you don't do astrology, I mean, I just figured if we're already here, you're into astrology. But if not, think of actual earth. This is where we are. This is where we stay. This is where everything comes from, and creation in every aspect. This is being grounded. This is gravity, right? Whereas air is arguably unaffected by gravity or earth. Like, I mean, maybe the air only exists around the earth, technically, because if you go into deep space, we don't have our air, but who's to say if there's not air there? What is air? Air is a lot more elusive. Air is a lot more abstract and maybe harder to fathom, harder to put your finger on, and less tangible than something like Earth. Because Earth can be a planet, and it can also be a thing, and it's also everything, right? It's very simple, straightforward, whereas air is just more elusive. So again, if this is just facets of your personality, right? It's just you arguing with yourself, but also seeing how to not work together, but let it work itself out. If you think about it too much, you just become off balance. But if it is an actual air sign, I definitely see them kind of being like the one, for sure. Prince of Swords, you know, that's the opposite of progress. Moving backwards, moving from the Queen of Swords to the Prince of Swords. We're talking about Gemini, then I just knock out the fucking Four of Swords, truce. Gotta come to terms with it, you know. Ace of Discs, because it could be your money, actually, and your happiness. Three of Cups, abundance. You are manifesting, and if you are not careful here, if you are not careful, things may fall apart, but it won't be within you, it'll be around you. But look at this. We have the Ten of Swords, ruin, and the Five of Swords, defeat, more swords. So if there's an air sign, especially a Gemini, they are a problem for you. I'll say that. It's a problem. And that sucks. But it's not coming from you, which is a good thing. Because if it was coming from you, it would be a Nine of Swords cruelty. And if it is an aspect of your personality, you have to understand that that chaotic fun side of you is self-sabotaging. And you may feel like that's who you are, there's nothing you can do about it, but you have to embrace the fact that things are going to fall apart around you if you don't figure out how to manage everything you've got going on with you. And two discs change. So when shit finally does hit the fan or fall apart or whatever it is, you know, that's when you decide to put in that change and you get that earth energy back in, the stability, the bag is secure and everything. Now, I'm not trying to pit anybody against anybody. I'm not even trying to say earth signs are better than air signs, because I don't know, I got more air signs in my life than earth signs for the most part, you know what I mean? So, you know, I'm not trying to say that. I'm talking about this particular situation. Understand that tarot is the meaning of the cards, but it's also sort of like the way that they're presented. It's not just interpretation, but formation. Okay, so that is the narrative of this story, not just a dynamic of earth and air. Okay, or your personality all the time either. But yeah, I think now I'm gonna end it. It does feel like a shuffle, and I could keep going, but you can book me for a personal reading, and if you wait till next season, it'll be $10 off for your birthday. So come back and see me, all right? I love you all. Have a great evening.